I accidentally saw my friend naked, now everyone thinks I'm a pervert. My stepbrother wrote creepy stories with us as the main characters. How to break up without saying it's because of our intimacy.
Hey everyone, I'm Lena and welcome to Cute Girls Read Reddit. Leave a comment on your thoughts on this relationship and subscribe for daily Reddit stories.
I accidentally saw my friend naked, now everyone thinks I'm a pervert. I was at her house, right? We were going out running errands. She was running late and came out in a towel. She apologized and said she lost track of time and had to get dressed. Help myself to anything in the fridge if I want. I had a Coke and some chips, but had to pee. So I went to the restroom. Her restroom is at the end of the hall to the right and her door is on the center end of the hall. Well, as I was turning into the restroom, I accidentally saw her door was opened. Unfortunately for me, she was naked. Her door was wide open and she was putting on underwear. I saw everything. I didn't look. I'm not into her. I was going to the restroom. She saw me and slammed her door shut, calling me a pervert. After I came out of the restroom, she was waiting for me and slapped me. Then tells me to get out of her apartment. I'm a pervert and she can't believe I'd spy on her. Maybe it's just that time of the month? I wasn't looking. I had to pee. Her damn door was open. Anyways, later I get texts from friends asking why I was perving on her. My sister texts me and calls me a massive pervert. How the hell do I fix this? Everyone thinks I'm some sort of pervert and it's annoying. Don't act ruffled. Just be good-naturedly bewildered about it when you talk to people. I was going to the bathroom and her door was wide open. I didn't know, haha. Then she hit me and started telling everyone about it. It's a little crazy. Sorry, life isn't a sitcom. She's using this opportunity to destroy OP simply because she can. She's not his friend. She's a monster who is potentially destroying this man's reputation for attention. Also, these days, the more you defend yourself from this kind of thing, the harder they hit at you for it. If this escalates and it ends up costing him a job or something else, I'd be prepping for a defamation suit. My stepbrother wrote creepy stories with us as the main characters. My mom and dad got divorced 4 years ago. After the divorce, my mom quickly found a new guy and dragged me halfway across the country to marry him. Now I live with him and his son David together in his house. I always found David a bit weird and strange. He is more of a loner and hasn't really any friends, so I tried to be friendly with him. I pretended to show interest in his hobbies and gave him fashion advice. But I guess this was a mistake since he started making awkward jokes about how weird it would be if we started dating. He also started to give me unwanted compliments and began acting really bitter towards my boyfriend. I talked to him about this and put an end to this, or so I thought. Yesterday, I texted him to ask if I could move a series from his hard drive onto my laptop, and he told me where to find his hard drive. It wasn't where he said it would be, so I looked through his desk and found what I thought was the same hard drive. I plugged it into my laptop and quickly realized it wasn't the same one that he kept the series on. It only had one folder titled Sex Stories. At that point, I should have stopped looking, but I didn't. I know snooping is wrong, and I really have no excuse. As it turned out, the folder contained over 30 sex stories my stepbrother wrote himself. I didn't read all of them, but the few I read all followed more or less the same pattern. The protagonist, who resembles my stepbrother, has a crush on his stepsister, who looks exactly like me. The protagonist is a great guy, and not like all these awful guys who don't respect her or other women in general. But his stepsister won't see it until some bullshit happens. Stepsister's boyfriend dumps her for another girl and she finds comfort in her stepbrother's arms, or stepsister's boyfriend leaves her shortly before prom and she is forced to go with her stepbrother, but finds out how great he is, or he saves his stepsister from a drunk in a bar. You get the idea. Then they proceed to have the greatest sex ever, and his stepsister falls in love with him and finally sees what a great guy he is. This whole story was truly creepy and freaked the f out of me. I got genuinely scared of my stepbro, but when I told my parents about this, they didn't really seem to care and just told him to delete the stories. I got really angry at my parents for not taking my worries seriously. I packed my things and left to stay with my best friend. I don't know where to go from here. What should I do next? Long story short, my stepbrother wrote creepy sex stories with us as the main characters. Is moving back to your dad's an option, or out on your own? He's an adult in age, but it sounds like he needs to have an intervention with his dad, assuming your stepdad's a decent guy, and hear that life isn't Pornhub plotlines. Failing that stepdad puts stepbrother into therapy, if not already. Don't go back home, or install locks on the bedroom door. Don't hang out or talk with your stepbrother. Tell another adult about this. Don't stay silent. This is creepy behavior that could lead to something worse than stories. How to break up without saying it's because of our intimacy. Okay, so me and my girlfriend have been going out for about 4 months now. It's been fine, going pretty well, and there hasn't been any drama. The only thing is, the sex life is bad. Very bad. I've started pretending to be tired or just ignoring signals because I'm actually getting bored during sex. And I've tried. It was pretty one-sided on my part at the beginning, and by that, she literally did nothing. Would just lay back and made me feel like a glorified sex toy. Sometimes nice, but not all the time, you know? So I tried talking to her about it to get more involved, and she did a bit. But about halfway through, she would inevitably still just stop. So I tried suggesting more out there stuff, just to get her more active. And it did help a bit, but it's still just not right. I think it's as simple as we just aren't compatible. There's no spark. It just doesn't click for me. It feels like we're having lesbian bed death when we literally should still be in the honeymoon phase. So I know we're not going to work out. Problem is, she doesn't see a problem. She's always a lot more up for it than I am and tries to start stuff pretty often. And to be fair, I never outright told her it's bad, but because I don't want to hurt her feelings. I really care about her and I don't want to upset her over this. I have told her that what we've tried so far doesn't really do anything for me, and she has talked about it openly and is willing to try other things. And we have tried some other stuff, but still, I'm just not interested. I feel really bad saying this, but I'm just not that attracted to her. Mentally, 100%. We were friends for a long time before we got together. I think she's amazing and I could talk to her for hours. I also think she's so beautiful, but there's just no sexual attraction for me. There was a bit at the start, but since then the sex has pretty much killed it. So anyway, that's my long explanation of why I know we need to break up. But the hard part for me is, I don't know how to say this to her. I don't know how to break up with her in a way that won't make her feel crap about herself because she's quite anxious and has insecurities. I don't want to make them any worse or reinforce any wrong ideas she has about herself because it's not her fault. We just don't work in the bedroom, simple as that. I honestly don't know how she can't see it. Maybe she can, but she doesn't want to bring it up like me. I hope that's the case, but I don't think so because she was very surprised when I first brought up trying new things. Anyway, I don't want to lose her as a friend and I don't want to make her insecure in any way. I know I'm going to hurt her by breaking up with her. That's unavoidable and I'm pretty upset by it too. But at the same time, this has been in the back of my head since our first time and I've been procrastinating breaking up for about 2 months now. So I need some advice as to how to go about this. I know this is also not good, but should I lie? Make up a reason to break up? I can't think of another way out of this, to be honest, so I'm turning to strangers for advice. Any similar experiences? Instead of breaking up with her, tell her how you feel. Tell her you don't get any pleasure from sex and she needs to change that or the relationship isn't gonna work. Might as well give her one last chance and I'm sure she will appreciate your honesty, even if it hurts her. Maybe you can also ask her if she enjoys sex at all. I think being honest or transparent about how you feel while you're having sex is very important. How else is she supposed to get that something is wrong, assuming she isn't a psychic? Usually people get off at the idea of their SO getting off. It's kind of a self-serving circle, but it doesn't work if there's no feedback between the two of you. Sit her down, be honest how you would like sex to feel like, how it feels for you right now. Ask her the same things. From there, the both of you should have everything you need to decide if you want to give it a try or if you're not compatible sex-wise. Sex compatibility is important, even essential in a relationship. And finally, there is no bad reason to break up.
What would your advice be? Leave a comment down below and let us know what you think.